All right, we live. Give me 1 second, fam. 1 second. For some reason, I can't see. All right. For some reason, I'm not. Okay, there it is. It wasn't showing there. All right. I want to say Hotel, a bet. Uncle Giles and Neb. Ren E. Kofi Piesie. Dua Dua U. Dua Aku. Dua Netcha. Igun Majube Iba E. Egungun Kiki, Gungun, Fatmu Alafie, Fatmu Iwa, Pele. I always have to give honor and praises to the ancestors, because again, without the ancestors, we wouldn't be here. I'm gonna share my screen real quick. Go into a hotel to do a hotel dinner suit. I always try to honor some ancestor. Share my screen real quick. All right, go down. All right. Dang, I don't know. Okay, shoot, I don't know. Train of thought. Oh.
Man in the full knowledge of himself is a superb and supreme creature of creation. When man becomes possessor of the knowledge of himself, he becomes master of his environment, the captain of his own ship, the director of his own destiny, the accomplisher of his own ends. Man should understand himself because man is full of knowledge, and this knowledge is a gift of nature. When Mother Nature created man, she deprived him of nothing. He was given the faculty of understanding all things around him. This faculty for understanding has not been taken away from him. None of his senses have been taken away from him. So there is no excuse for the black man. I'm bridging my team, red, black, and green, queens and kings, salute, now scream, I should bring from another hit, I should. I'm ripping my team, red, black, and green, queens and kings, salute, now scream, I should bring from another hit, I should.
All right, the hotel dinner suit. At the top, we have the sesh here. In the middle, we have the transliteration. And at the bottom, we have the translation in the target language that we speak. All right, I'm going to read the transliteration and the translation. Here on this side, we have Edward W. Bentley. He was a highly respected African scholar, and they say he's considered or called the father of Pan-Africanism. So you can do a little bit more research on Edward W. Belden. We're gonna honor this great brother. Hotep Dina Suit was said Neb to do Necha A Neb Abdu DF Paret Kur in Hinket Ka Apet says in Menhek Neb Neferet Wabet Unket Necher M N Ka in Imaku Ma Karu. The translation, an offering in which the king, Wusir, Lord of Jadu, the great deity, Lord of Obitus, that they may give a voice offering of calf, fallon, linen, alabaster, and all good and pure things in which a deity lives to the revered one, Edward W. Baden, justified a true voice. Stop sharing my screen. Okay. Stop sharing screen. Excuse me, family. Before we get started, seeing you got something to say before I turn it over to Setep. And peace to the family in the chat. Peace to Greg Montgomery. Peace to Sister Lisa. Peace to Brother Nasir. Peace to Brother Jadar Spirit. Peace, Brother Vasa, Nicolo. Peace, Kenny Nash.
You let me speak?
Sure.
ETM Hotel. Welcome in peace, man. Sean. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to this powerful show today, man. We're about to give y'all business.
Okay. Without further ado, we're going to turn it over to my good brother Setepenre Meri Amen. He has a, like Sean said, he has a powerful presentation to give to us today. So, like I always say, please take out your pen and your paper and take notes. All right, brother Setep, it's on you.
Right. Peace, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Hope y'all enjoy it. Let's see. You gonna put it on me, Kofi?
Yeah, I got it on you now.
All right. Is it up on the YouTube?
Yeah, I got it locked on.
All right. So today we're gonna be doing the Warrior Kings of Kemet. And as you can see right here, we got the king. I believe this Rameses right here. And he's in the
You got to share your screen,
Oh, I ain't sure.
You tripping.
I'm ready to get busy. Okay. Let me know if you see it.
Till.
All right. So yeah, like I was saying, we got the king Rameses right here. He's in the smiting of the enemy pose. He got his enemies by the locks. So let's dig into this. In this presentation, I will be giving a synopsis on the pharaohs of Kemet that had conflicts with foreign nations and what it did for the country as far as uniting, reuniting, or just expanding the borders. The first king we got Narmer. Narmer was the first king of the Egyptian dynastic period. He is known as the one who unified the 42 nomes of Egypt. Narmer is famously known by the artifact on the left known as the Narmer's palette. On the palette, you can see him in the war pose or the smiting of the enemy. This position that the king is depicted in is on most reliefs of warrior kings as they strike down their foes. So this is a prominent position in warrior king reliefs. Whenever they have a relief, they're gonna have the smiting of the enemy. They're gonna have the war mace in their hand, or they'll have the kapesh in their hand as well. All right. So the next pharaoh we got Horemheb. This ivory label found at Abydos, now in the British Museum, portrays the pharaoh Den in the act of striking down an Asiatic dignitary with a mace. He is the first Nisut Biti, or he is the first king to have the title Nisut Biti attached to his name. So he's the first dynasty king, so it really wasn't a lot of evidence left of this battle that he had with the Asiatics. But in this little ivory tablet right here, it shows him in that pose. So he was definitely a warrior pharaoh. He has a smiting of the enemy stance. And I just added that little fun fact down at the bottom that he was the first king to have the Nisut Biti attached to his name. So that's something I found out doing this research. Hope y'all appreciate that. All right, so the next pharaoh we have is Mentuhotep. He's actually one of my favorite pharaohs too. So I like him. The first ruler of the 11th dynasty. He ruled from Thebes. The 14th year of his reign, he led a campaign against Heraclius Magna. Not much is known of the war, just that it resulted in the reunification of Egypt. So it's safe to say we know who won, who basically was victorious. We know who won the war. He is regarded as the founder of the Middle Kingdom. Right after the reunification, he launched a military campaign against Nubia and Palestine, which stretched the borders of Egypt and ushered in great expansion in trade and building of monuments. Now, when Mentuhotep was coming into power, he was a ruler that ruled from Thebes, but after he established that kingdom, he ushered in a great peace, and they was building all types of monuments and stuff like that. So he's actually one of my top pharaohs. If y'all want to look into him.
And Setep around this period, if I'm not mistaken, it's been a while. Around this period, ain't this around the same time period of him when we actually start to see in the records that Kemet is called Kemet and Kemet is called Timeri?
Correct.
Because prior to that, people think that it was already called Kemet, but it was not called Kemet until around Mentuhotep time, during this dynasty period.
Yes, you are correct. You are correct in that assertion.
Yeah, I wanted to throw that out there.
Added that fact in there. All right, so now we have Senusret I. He's the second king of the 12th dynasty. He continued his father's aggressive policies against the Nubians, and he extended his control as far as the Third Cataract in present-day Sudan, which can be seen in the victory stela. Now, in this victory stela, you know, he goes over his victories and who he fought and all that good stuff. So, and he established the borders as well in that stela. As co-regent to his father, Amenemhat I, he led campaigns into Libya and set up garrisons along the Libyan coast as king. He entered into fruitful trade relations with Syria and Palestine and exploited the gold mines and stone quarries within his territory. So basically, a little bit about Senusret. His father, Amenemhat, he was co-regent to his father, and he was leading a campaign in Libya, I believe. And he found out that his father got killed. So he rushed back. Man, I should have put that in here. He rushed back and he actually assumed power that way. So somebody was plotting on his father, and then when he was gone, they ended up killing his dad. So y'all could look. I forget what the story was, but it's a whole bunch of stuff I was finding out doing this little presentation. All right, so Senusret III. And Senusret III, the people found I don't know what that word is. I don't know what that word is. Of the ideal warrior king who embodied the Egyptian culture value of Ma'at. And Sean just did a presentation on Ma'at too. Y'all can check that out. As expressed in the balanced and harmonious state, and whose reign was characterized by military skill, decisive action, and efficient administration. At the head of his army, he was considered invincible. He led his troops by example and always from the front. So he wasn't no weak pharaoh. He didn't send his troops out and then come back behind him. He was out there in the forefront. His campaigns into Nubia expanded Egypt's boundaries, and the fortifications he built along the border fostered lucrative trade. In four military campaigns undertaken during his reign, Senusret III conquered Lower Nubia as far as the Second Cataract of the Nile. He built a powerful defense system consisting of 8 fortresses erected on both banks of the Nile. These included both Budin and Simna, near the Second Cataract. On the Stela of Simna, Senusret proclaimed that he fixed the country's southern border, and henceforth only Nubians with peaceful intentions were allowed to cross it. So if y'all look in that Stela, he talks about how he established the borders, and if you ain't coming with peace, you ain't allowed to cross that border. All right, now we dealing with Kamose. During Kamose's time, you know, the Hyksos, they was running things at the time, but they was only running it in northern Egypt around the pyramids and stuff like that. They wasn't really further down south. They was more up north. Kamose had became king following the death of his father. What's his name? Setepenre Meri I. The Hyksos had brutally killed him along with his entire army. 2 stelae erected at Karnak recount details of his campaigns against the Hyksos and the Kushites. With a fleet and desert tribal troops from Nubia, he made a surprise attack against the southernmost Hyksos stronghold. The stela tells of Kamose's victory over the Hyksos king Apep I, and how the letter wrote a letter to the ruler of Kus in Nubia. That should be Kush, sorry, typo, in which he suggested an attack on Kamose. The messenger was intercepted by Kamose's troops. Being informed of the plans of his opponents, Kamose was able to launch a preemptive attack. Sorry. Now we're gonna deal with Amos, and Amos kind of ties in with Kamose. So Amos, go ahead.
Now go ahead, because you probably finna. I was just finna tie Copmos and Opmos in together, but you probably gonna do it. I just when you get with this slide, we'll kind of talk about it if you want to.
Okay. Yeah. So during the time when Amos was born, the country was divided. You had the Hyksos kings who inhabited the north and the land of the pyramids, like I said, which is Upper Egypt. The Egyptian kings were pushed south, where they ruled in Thebes. They also faced threats of war from the Nubians of the south of Thebes. Only 10 years old, Amos watched Kamose lead the Egyptian army north against the Hyksos. They captured the first Hyksos town they encountered and headed on to the Hyksos capital, Avaris. But just when they were about to push the Hyksos out of Egypt, Kamose died, leaving the Hyksos in the north of Egypt. Following Kamose's death, Amos became pharaoh, but he was still a boy. His mother, Ahotep, ruled as it should be co-regent, and educated her son in his future duties. 10 years later, Amos was ready to take on the Hyksos and avenge the death of his father and his brother. He marched on Avaris, defeated the Hyksos, and liberated Egypt from a foreign occupation. This was a great victory. Amos was now pharaoh of a united Egypt and stretched from the borders of Nubia in the south to the Mediterranean in the north. When he got back home to Thebes, Amos was a hero, and he was worshipped as a god. But running the Hyksos out of Egypt was just the beginning of Amos. Just the beginning. Amos wanted to build a powerful Egypt. This required money. So Amos traveled to the south. Amos traveled south to Nubia, home to some of the richest gold mines in the ancient world. In a series of battles, Amos' Egyptian army defeated the Nubians and their king in a great victory. You want to say something about this, Kofi?
Well, you kind of elaborated on what I was going to talk about when you were talking about Copmos, because a lot of times we don't hear about Copmos when we start talking about the Hyksos. No, Atmos name is always mentioned, but Copmos name ain't almost mentioned. So Copmos put in a lot of work before his brother Atmos came in and defeated the Hyksos and pushed the Hyksos out of that particular area, because again they didn't rule but a certain region of Kemet. They didn't rule all the areas in Kemet. So just go do some research on some more research on Copmos. Again, like I said, Copmos is not mentioned a lot when we're talking about the Hyksos. They always mention his brother Atmos. But but you already went into what I was going to explain. I kind of figured that when you jumped into the next slide and I seen what you had.
Yeah. So basically, before I did this, I thought I didn't know Amos was 10 years old when Kamose died. Like, I didn't even know that. So, when you just breezing through and you just hear about both of them, you hear their brothers, you would think they close in age. One died and one assumed the throne, but he was only 10 years old and he had to sit back for 10 whole years and get trained and all that good stuff before he could even avenge his father's death and his brother's death. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
You said that his mother, right, was the co-regent.
Co-regent, yep.
Right.
His mom was co-regent.
Right, and a lot of times you will see that with a lot of the young Nasuts was their parents will be the co-regent until they get a certain age.
Yeah, later on in the presentation we're gonna get into somebody who was co-regent but didn't want to come up off it. So I'll probably add that in later.
Hey, Satep.
What's up?
Don't this story sound, I mean, not this story, but doesn't this sound very similar to a story that is written, in a certain cosmology?
What's that?
Like, for instance, the son having to go away and train for 10 years in order to come back and avenge his father's death.
Oh, okay. You talking about Horus?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Yep. Similarities. Definitely similarities. It's a good point.
I just want to throw that out there.
All right, appreciate it. All right, now we gonna go to Thutmose the First. And with some of these names, I'm gonna say this real quick. With some of these names, that ain't how it's really written in the text. I just wrote that on there because I know people can relate. They can type that in and find it real quick. So let's Thutmose the First. Although his reign was relatively short, Thutmose's achievements in foreign policy were notable. He inherited a well-organized army, and with it pacified Nubia, marking Egypt's southern border at the level of the Third Cataract. His great ambition was to conquer Asia and to make Egypt the most important power of the time. He reached the banks of Euphrates, successfully confronting the powerful Mitanni people. These people, the Mitanni people, that's the people. That's like, I think they right before the Hittites. They in that area right there. Egypt's sworn enemy, and was the first of the new kingdom pharaohs to gain control of this area. So yeah, that Mitanni area, that's where the Hittites was reigning at. But this is right before the Hittites got in there. All right, now we're gonna go to Thutmose III. Now a little bit about Thutmose III before I get into this. Thutmose III, he was one of the major military figures in Kemet at the time and after his death. So he was one of the people that was like laying down law for real. So in this time as pharaoh, Thutmose III would lead 17 successful military campaigns in 20 years. So he basically went to war every year. You know what I'm saying? He ordered the details of his victory to be inscribed at a temple of Amun at Karnak. So y'all can still see these. And they considered the most extensive records of the ancient Egyptian military campaigns extant. His first is the most famous, the Battle of Megiddo. Now, the Battle of Megiddo, that's where they say they get the word Armageddon from, because he went up there and slayed them so bad, they thought it was going to be the end of the world how he did them. So that's what I'm saying. Like Thutmose, he the truth, man. And is the one described in the most extensive narrative. His later campaigns lose this form and are given with less detail, appearing more as listed of spoils than narratives of the king's victories. So after he really put it down at Megiddo, he was already the man. So they really didn't write too much about his other victories. It was just more like he said, like spoils of war. All right. To the south, Thutmose reaffirmed the southern boundary of Egyptian domination over Nubia as far as the Krugus and Napta. Near Mount Bakal, he built a temple to Amun. He thoroughly subdued the turbulent Nubian tribes and employed many of them in the gold mines, which from his reign came the bias Egyptian wealth and basically the basis of Egyptian wealth and foreign exchange with the prince of the Western Asia. For the last 12 years of his reign, he was content to enjoy the fruits of his victories, the tribute to Assyria and Palestine and of the Sudan poured into his treasuries. The annals list huge quantities of timber and metals, ores, cattle, and grain delivered by the conquered. So basically, after he conquered them, they would have to pay tribute. And we see these in the text all the time, where you got a bunch of foreigners, and they bringing stuff into Egypt to venerate the king. All right, so now we're gonna go to Horemheb. Little is known about the background of Horemheb, the last pharaoh of the 18th dynasty. Horemheb was the great commander of the troops of the Lord of the Two Lands. possibly at the time of Akhenaten, but definitely during the time of Tut Amen. As general, Horemheb led several military campaigns during the reign of Tut Amen and Akhenaten. The prisoners captured and are depicted in his tomb at Saqqara. As pharaoh, he initiated a more aggressive policy against the Hittites and secured Egypt's borders, but Horemheb never resolved the problem of the Hittite incursion. So this when they start going to war with the Hittites a lot. Was around.
And oh,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. Now I was just gonna say where you can see right here, because a lot of people think that Horemheb was, uh, and these are people that just don't read and study. That Horemheb was, uh, I think he, Tutankhamun, not yeah, Tutankhamun grandfather or something like that. But he was some type of commander. Yes, it's not a whole lot of information on him, but you'll hear a lot of people. I think is it Tutankhamun, or the next pharaoh, or the next Nasut Bidi after him. They say he was the father, and Tutankhamun was the great grandfather. It was something like that, man. I done heard it a few times, man, but that's incorrect.
Right. Okay. So now we're gonna go to Seti the First. Seti the First continued successfully with the policies of conquest which Horemheb started. Seti I fixed the borders of Egypt and even gained back a part of lost territory in Anatolia. The Hittites became more and more dangerous in Asia, and on top of that, a Bedouin tribe, the Sashu, and we know about the Sashu. We done heard about them before. We see their names in the text. Supported just by the Hittites, took advantage of the change of pharaohs on the Egyptian throne and seized about 20 fortresses along the Mediterranean. So at this time, we know it was like when Akhenaten died, then Tut was ruling. Then after Tut, it was Ad, and after I believe it was Horemheb, and that was the end of that dynasty. Then you had Rameses I, and then you had Seti the First. So it's a lot of pharaohs in that little bit of time, and the Hittites started gaining ground, gaining control, and gaining power around that time because there was a lot of changes going on. In the military campaign against the Sashu, he conquered back Rafa during the advancement. His army was better trained and organized, so it moved forward quickly. The Sashu were defeated badly in every battle from Karu to Canaan, and Seti I gained the lost fortresses back. So he had to go back up there, put it back down, get them up out of there.
Yeah, and that's who it was. That's who it was. It was Seti the First. That they were saying that Seti the First, Horemheb was Seti's the first father.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, that's way incorrect. Cause like I did this in order, so
Yeah,
Rameses the First started this dynasty, and then Seti, and then we got his son Rameses the Great.
right.
All right. Seti I didn't enjoy the peace for long. The Libyans tried to get into Egypt from the west. Seti had to lead 2 campaigns to defeat their attempts for incursion. But the permanent peace the Egyptians hoped for didn't last for long. Seti had to face the rebellion of the Nubians in the 8th year of his reign. Egypt needed the wealth of the land of Kush, and didn't tolerate any attempts of hostile activities. The campaign into Nubia lasted for several months. A stele was found near the 4th cataract that came from the 11th year of Seti's reign. It is a proof of the advance of Egyptian army which penetrated into Africa and land, as well as the troops of Thutmose III long before him. So y'all can see how some of this stuff ties in with each other when they going down into Nubia. All right, so after Seti the First, we got Rameses the Second, and y'all want to extensive look at Rameses the Second, y'all can check out this presentation right here that I did on Kofi Potside TV, the Battle of Kadesh. This is one of the great battles that's known throughout history. It's up there with the Battle of Megiddo. So y'all want to check this out if y'all want a little better understanding on Rameses the Second as a warrior pharaoh. All right, so now we're gonna get into Rameses III. And here's another depiction. Oh yeah, let me say this. This picture right here is Rameses II, and he's actually in battle right now. So this is another form of iconography that they'll show when they're in battle. And then he, as you can see, the crown that he have on is the blue crown. They call that the war crown as well. So you'll see that as well on these pharaohs. And like I said, Rameses III, he has on the war crown as well, and you can see him in the smiting of the enemy pose, and he has his war mace in his hand. So that's him, and he got his name. That's all I was just about to say. you got his name.
I'm saying, because you know, people be saying, you know, well, how you know that was him? How you know that was the picture? That looked just like the picture from a while ago with he said was Rameses the First.
Right. So you can see the two Senus right above his left hand where he's holding the enemy, and the first one, should I read them, Kofi?
You can if you want to. I would just, you know how people are. You can if you want to. You can read the
so the first one, you have the Neb basket, the two lands. So you got Neb Tawi, and then you have in the Shanu, you have Usur Ma'at Meri Amen. And the second name, you have Neb Kau, and you have Ramesu Heka Anu. So that's how we know that's him. And then behind him, you see the falcon standing on the Shrek. Now, I'm not about to read all that, but I could, but I'm not about to. Now I'll go ahead and do it. All right. Let's see. That's on her Shrek me sa aset. I believe that's what that say. Y'all can check. Y'all can double check that. It's one of his Haru names. I know he got a whole bunch of Haru names because on each side of this picture, these are Haru names. You got Unc Haru, and you got Unc Haru Sa. So he got a bunch of them names. But that's how we know that's him. All right. So Rameses III. In the 12th century BCE, a loose alliance of people from the island of the Aegean Sea and the southern coast of modern-day Turkey attempted to settle in Egypt, only to face the might of Rameses III's well-organized army. Rameses III reacted swiftly, mobilizing the country's troops and disturbing distributing the weapons of the royal arsenal to his soldiers. An intelligent and experienced military strategist, he led his forces into Palestine to confront the invader before they could reach the Egyptian border. So as you can see, he was a very reactive pharaoh. He seen that they was getting ready to try to push down on Egypt, and he was like, "No, we're gonna meet y'all at the border for y'all even get here." So I like him too. He was definitely an active pharaoh. All right. He was well informed of the Sea People tactics of combining land advances with the naval attack and was prepared for them. The Sea People were slowed down by heavy carts carrying their families and belongings. Because, like I said, he brought it to them. He wasn't waiting for them to bring it to him. He brought it to them. So he caught them off guard a little bit. So where was I? Were quickly and decisively defeated by the Egyptian army on their land. Their accompanying fleet, off the coast near Gaza. So the accompanying fleet positioned off the coast near Gaza was also no match for Rameses' forces. Egyptian archers fired a salve of arrows at the enemy ships and boarded them, engaging in a fierce battle that is depicted on the walls of the pharaoh's temple at Medit Habu. So you can still see this. You can still see this as well, where they boarded the ships and how they got the arrows pointed at the enemies and all that stuff, as well as repelling the advances of the Sea People. Rameses had to drive out Libyan hordes who were threatening Egypt's western borders. It took two military campaigns The first carried out in the 5th year of his reign, and the second in the 11th year of his reign. The second of these campaigns proved to be difficult. Content as the king was confronted by Libyan forces led by a military commander named Mesher. However, the final encounter near Memphis resulted in a successful for Rameses III, and Mesher was taken prisoner. So he actually, in the second time, you know, it was a little difficult for him, but he went up there, he defeated him, took him as prisoner. All right, so the next pharaoh we got Piankhi. Piankhi is a later king. They like to call these kings the Nubian kings, or the black kings of Egypt, but we all know that they were all black. So they try to push the 25th dynasty as being the black kings of Egypt. So don't let them fool you. The kingdom of Kush, of which Piankhi was ruler, emerged out of Egyptianized population of the Sudan near Mount Barkal. Between the 3rd and 4th Nile cataract, the cult of Egyptian god Amun-Re was strongly entrenched among the Kushites, and a threat by Tefnakhet. And this is one of those kings prior to him when they got. I believe he may be a Libyan king. I'm not sure. A Libyan chieftain of the Nile Delta to Amun's homeland in the Upper Egypt provoked Piankhi to move northward. Following a ritual visit to Thebes, Piankhi's forces met the Libyans' river fleet and defeated it. They then vanquished a land army near Heraclipolis in Middle Egypt and advanced to take I wish I had the right names for these. These is Greek names. Hermopolis, another Middle Egyptian stronghold of the Libyans, and Memphis, Egyptians' ancient capital. Piankhi received the submission of several Delta potentates and later of the last representative of the 23rd dynasty. He then invaded the Delta, where more local rulers surrendered. Finally, Tefnakhet sent a message of submission, and Piankhi sent his emissary to obtain this oath of, I don't know what that is. That's a typo right there. After some final submissions by holdouts, Piankhi sailed home to Mount Barkal with the spoils of his venture. He remained in his capital and was buried there. The great stela recount his deeds also was found there and is dated in the 21st century or 21st year of his reign. So Piankhi also has a stela too that recounts his victories, but it's a little hard to read though because I was looking at it when I was doing this presentation. All right, so the next pharaoh we got, this is the last pharaoh that we have, is Taharqa. I'm pretty sure some of y'all are familiar with this. I found this YouTube video. I was searching some stuff up about Taharqa, and then I actually found this YouTube page. It's on the Shoulders of Giants. It's a brother, I forget his name, but if y'all go to his YouTube page, subscribe to his YouTube page, you got a lot of information on there about Black African history, and I think Kofi, you'll like him as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this video. Joseph Ward, that's his name.
Pharaoh Taharqa. In 690 BC, Taharqa was born in Nubia as a member of the royal family of the Kingdom of Kush. He was the 5th ruler of the 25th dynasty, which was an African-led dynasty. Taharqa is regarded as the last pharaoh to unite the lands of Nubia. He is also regarded as the pharaoh to lose the land to the Assyrians. Taharqa was the son of Pharaoh Piankhi and Abar, the queen of the Sudan. For 26 years, he ruled Egypt. His reign started in 668 BC after the death of his brother Shabbat. After becoming pharaoh, he spent a considerable amount of time rebuilding Egypt and venerating the god Amun. He then moved his throne to the delta of Tanis. This move helped him keep an eye on his Assyrian neighbors. As the new pharaoh, Taharqa faced a well-oiled machine in the Assyrian army, led by Ishradon at the Sinai Desert, and was defeated in 671 BC. Taharqa lost control of Memphis and Lower Egypt. The pharaoh fled to Upper Egypt with what was left of his army. In 673 BC, Taharqa returned to Lower Egypt with a rebuilt army and defeated Ishradon. regaining control of the Delta area. Shortly after, Ishradun's successor faced Taharqa and defeated his army, which never again tried to regain Lower Egypt. Taharqa, as the second to last male pharaoh of Egypt's 25th dynasty, helped Egypt maintain its rich African culture for nearly 1,000 years. Taharqa built a plethora of temples in Kush, along with monuments at Karnak, Thebes, and Tanis. For at least 8 of his 26-year reign as pharaoh, Taharqa fought off the oppression of the Assyrians and promoted the beauty and culture of his people. Egypt flourished under his reign. He is very important because of his ability to maintain Egypt's culture. Their culture was able to be passed on to his nephew, and lastly, Cleopatra. The 25th dynasty is the last of the African-ruled dynasties. Taharqa helped Black Egypt survive and become a formidable foe to the Assyrians. He is also famous because of his mention in the Holy Bible, Kings 9:19 and Isaiah 37:9. Taharqa fought hard for the freedom of his people. He loved his people and their land dearly. Pharaoh Taharqa, we proudly stand on your shoulders. For more information, visit www.ontheshoulders1.com.
All right, family. That's our good brother Taharqa right there. And like I said, y'all may want to check that guy out. He seemed pretty legit. All right, so I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in, family. And any suggestions on what y'all would like my next presentation to be about, please put in the chat as we speak of our upcoming shows. So if y'all got something that y'all would like me to go over or look into in the near future, put it in the chat. It'll be considered. And thanks for watching again, family. Here go my sources right here. What you think, Kofi?
Ecker. Excellent, man. I just learned a few little things, man. I didn't know know about some of the soups, especially with the Nasut name, with the first king. And shoot, family, I got some books. If you interested, if you wanted some more information on some of the kings and some of the further kings that was not warriors, and some of the kings that Brother Setepenre talked about. This here is a good book here. Just my lighting, where y'all can see it a little bit better. This is called the Chronicles, and Brother Setepenre went in order when he did the warriors of the warrior kings of Kemet. So here is a chronological order of the pharaohs. It actually has, it's a nice book. It has the Nasut biddies in here. It has I like it because it has the artwork of the suit biddies. It has the session. It has a lot of session here, and it has a lot of the kings that we don't have to speculate. We don't have to speculate. We know these people actually exist because we have the bodies. And this book also, it provides, and in the book it provides. Let me see if I can go to one of the pages. It actually provides you with what museum the bodies are in and the museum number on there. Here you have here it's all throughout here, but it on this side here you can see some of the bodies in the museum here. And I think this is Seti I, which Setepenre mentioned. He didn't mention Rameses II. He mentioned Rameses I and Rameses III. But you see Rameses II here.
I said Rameses II. I said they got to go to the YouTube video to see the battle.
Okay, yeah, that's right. That's right. So here's the body of Ramses. So he talked about Seti. He talks about Rameses II. But he didn't talk about Mentuhotep II, and that's here.
Oh man, I'm sorry too, man, because he actually a warrior pharaoh too. I forgot to add him in there, man. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, and here's
Kofi, don't be trying to show Setep up. No, let's get this straight right now. Don't be trying to show him up, man. He did mention the other fact. You see, you need to apologize. You need to say, Setep, I'm sorry. All you did was say, you right. No, say, my bad, bro. My bad, Setep.
My bad, Setep. My bad, Setep.
Thank you. See, now we're having some brotherly love.
But yeah, man. But this is a good book. I'm telling you, and anybody that wants the book, a lot of people know I give away books for free. Only thing I'm asking, man, just subscribe to the channel if I give books away. If I give books away, because I done sent a lot of books out, and I always say if I show some books, especially if I have them on a PDF, I don't mind sharing them with the family as long as you gonna read the books. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. Here's another book, just like a part 2, but this is actually on the queens, and actually I supposed to done something on the queens a while back here on this TV, but this is like, you know, I advise you to get both. I have both too on PDF, and this in here is actually I was gonna do a presentation using some information out of here, dealing with the claim of Hatshepsut, being the king, being a king of Kemet, and that's the only female that they talk about being a king. And I wanted to do one and show you there was many other women that was kings before you even get to her.
Yeah.
So again, this is, you know, this is a good book. It has, but it has all of them in order. It has who they were married to in the book. It has a lot of the sesh. Hold on. It has like a lot of the sesh in here and a lot of the art in here. If you want to look in the book, you know, like I say, it has it in chronological order, and it has the queens, who they was actually married to, who I mean, well, actually they weren't kings, they was actually kings. Um, so it's a good book, man. So this is a good book. Like I said, if y'all want this book too, I'll send whoever inbox me. I'll send those 2 books to you. This is also another book I started pull a few more out. But this is another one. It talks about a lot of the kings, but it deals with a lot of the temples and the pyramids. But it also talks about those kings in those book too. Some of the ones that Setepenre mentioned in the book is called the Complete Temple of Ancient Egypt. I think I got this in here on PDF too. So if y'all want this on PDF, inbox me. I think I got it. I may be mistaken. It may be another book, but I think I have this and also on PDF too. So if y'all want that, y'all can check it out. Y'all can get them and go back and verify some of the things that Setepenre was talking about, or even just expound on some of the things that Setepenre was talking about in those 3 books. Anybody got any questions in the chat? Anybody got some questions in the chat? The time is now. I'm gonna share my screen real quick. Mr. Iwa Baruru, you got anything to say? Mr. Iwa Baruru. I guess he ain't
who was Iwa Baruru? That's you. Look here, man. Look, I got something to say, man. We got all these people in the chat, man. Like the show, share the show. You know what I'm saying? It looks like we have a university scholar among us. I wish that they could get on and, help us break down some glyphs and things. But go ahead, man. Go ahead and what you got. I'm cool.
Hold on 1 second. All right.
I see the Seshu in the chat. Seshu, shout out to the Seshu.
Yeah, shout out Emmy Cat, shout out Damo. What's up, Damo? Say Mo Damo, what's up?
Can we get some heat? Can we get some heat?
This is like my brother Setep said, if you have any suggestions on anything that you would like for him to do, put it in before we leave here, or even if you go back later on in the archives, go back and if you go back later on, if you go back and look at the video or whatever, put what you'd like to see Setep any of us, any already, or even me, what we would like to do, what you would like to do next, what you would like to see for us to do next. But here we have, this is just some stuff that's upcoming on the channel. Setep just knocked out his presentation, the Warriors Kings of Kemet. And also go back and look at his Battle of Kadesh presentation, which was his first presentation, which he didn't go too in depth on that slide because he did that for, I know he did that for a reason. He didn't go into depth on that slide because he wants you to actually go back and look at the video, the Battle of Kadesh. So go check out that presentation, which was a good presentation. Also go check out what was the other presentation, brother Setep, you did?
Which I think only did
The
two.
one. Setep, you done 3 presentations. This is the 3rd presentation.
Setep tripping.
Oh, the Valley of the Kings. My bad. The Valley of the Kings.
Right. That was also a good presentation. So go and check those 3 presentations out by Setep Setepenre Meri Amen. Also coming up next week, which will be on the 16th, will be Brother T'Challa Bangara, who y'all know as Jehudi Bak Ma'at. He will be doing what my curse said, the reprogramming of the African minds, the brief analytics of the European perspective on African motifs and cultures in general, why we need to learn from the objective point of view. And this presentation, I'm saying, is powerful because it's actually is a piggy or a veggie bag off of the presentation that I mentioned earlier on the Masi Warrior Clan, which I'll mention again in the next slide. In the next slide of the shows that are upcoming on the Masi Warrior Clan. But this here is an excellent, because it's an excellent segue out of the presentation next week on the Masi Warrior Clan, following straight into his presentation on the channel. So be looking for his presentation. Again, it's called The Reprogramming of the African Mind. The African American mind, excuse me. Then following that, you will have at the bottom here, you have oral historian, counselor, entertainer, poet, storyteller, dancer and singer, the griot and the griotis. So I'll be going in on the 23rd, explaining to you what is a griot or a griotis. Uh, um, the many roles. I didn't put all the roles on top. There were plethora of roles that the griots or griotis had in the society, and these people was very, very, very important. And there's one little thing: these guys were historians. So when you think of a historian, you know, a lot of us say we are scholars, we are historians, and etc. These guys was ancient historians, and they played other major roles in the society. We only know them as in the aspects of his as a historian. So be on the lookout for that, which will be on the 23rd. And then on the 30th, this at the top, A Dream of in Black State by my brother by Asa Nicolo Gullah. This is going to be a nice presentation. It's actually going to be a veggie back off of a lot of the installments that I actually did um, dealing with the Gullah people. Those 4 or 5, I think I did 5 installments. So it's kind of veggie back off of there, but he actually going a little bit more in depth on a few little things with some primary information. And I think y'all gonna like it. We've been kind of talking back and forth, and I've seen some of the slides the brother has already. So be on the lookout for that brother again, Vasa Nicolo Gullah, The Dream of an All Black State, which will be on the 30th. Family, we are working. We are working. We are working. So please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Like I said, that's all I'm asking. Just subscribe to the channel. I'm not asking for no money, no donations. Just please subscribe.
Kofi,
Go ahead.
I almost thought that you was gonna pass out the offering plate.
Nah, I ain't gonna pass that out, man.
I really did, man, because when you said family, we are working. We are working. We are outside, man. Only thing left for this preacher is the plate.
Oh man. Upcoming presentation on the Mossy, because I am also a member of the Mossy Warrior Clan. I have at the top here on the left the reintroduction of my aunt by our good brother Eni Haret Sean Calfunny, which he just did today, which was a great presentation
I
on
want to
my
see Sean break down that text up there. Sean, what's up? You seen I just freestyle some. Get to it.
and
The
so if
word
that,
about my daughter of who is that? I always forget that arm with the flail.
I don't forgot too. That's what
Is it Ketty?
Jabed Medu in Ma'at Satra. Is that what is that Satep?
Is that Ketty? Nah, I mean
Oh man, I'm stuck right there too. I know it. Kyle Jesser, I think. Oh man, don't give me the line.
Yeah, I don't forgot too. But if you hadn't looked at the video, please go back and check out the video on the Mossy Warrior Clan channel. He did it today. He went into depth about about those moral laws and the way you should live. So please go check that video out, because some of us in this so-called country's community uh need that. Also next week, the controversial presentation, controversial topic here, woman circumcision in Africa by me and brother T'Challa Bangara. So please be on the lookout for that, because you don't want to miss it. And I'll be throwing a video up maybe tomorrow, promoting the show, and probably another video after that in the middle of the week. And then I'll probably throw the flyer up at the end of the week. And I may be throwing up pieces of information, just getting y'all ready for the presentation on Sunday. And then after that, a segue into that is reprogramming the African mind. I say that's going to be a great segue, because we have a misunderstanding of what woman circumcision is, and it's because of the Western mindset that we have. And well, we'll get into it on that day. And after that, I don't know if it's going to be September the 13th. It may be earlier than that, but I'm gonna get with Sean today. But right now, the date is September the 30th. I have another presentation called Tanzania and Mozambique, Makandi people, master carvers, and slave resistant tribe, which is also a great, going to be a great presentation. Um, so again, we working, and I'm not asking. Uh,
I think we should let you go again, Kofi.
you should be go again. What you
No,
mean?
I think we're gonna let you present that next week, man. You got like 4 presentations ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
We got a question in the chat.
Go ahead.
Let's see. Oh, somebody said, can you do a show on the Embry / African instruments? Didn't Jehudi do something on that?
No.
Just the drum.
I did something on the. It's two on here. It's two. No, it's one on here. It's one on here, and it's one on the Mossy. I did the one with the African drums. Is the way of is the way is the heartbeat, is the way of life and the heartbeat of the community. And then I did the African drums, the way of the life and the heartbeat of the community, reloaded on Mossy Warrior Clan. And I added brother Jehudi Bach Ma'at, who we call T'Challa Bangara. He did something with me on the reloaded part, and that's on the Mossy Warrior Clan. So you can check it out on this presentation, where you're gonna get the full thing. And then on the Mossy Warrior Clan, I did a few little slides, and then I let brother T'Challa go in and talk about the drums and so forth. So you got 2 good presentations on both channels. So please go check out both of those. And I'll be touching a little bit week after next on a few other instruments, dealing with the griot and the griotis, because they was also musicians. So I'll be touching on a few of the instruments that these brothers and sisters actually used some more African instruments. And so if you got anything else in mind, whoever that was that asked, just shoot it to us or put it in there and we'll make it happen. Anybody else got any more questions?
Zane Montego. That's who asked that.
Okay, yeah, peace, brother Zane Montego. Yeah.
I don't see nothing else. Oh, some say inner genitals. Oh, I don't know.
He said that Tamika Yavra, she said inner genitalia, and she put a question
Yeah,
mark.
y'all gotta excuse her. Y'all gotta excuse her. That's our Hebrew sister. She coming into the. Yeah, you gotta excuse her.
I was caught off guard. I was like, what?
Yeah. She, you know, having a little sidebar chat, and I think that her and Lisa are having a conversation, and I think Lisa's verbiage with her choice of words is a little harsh, but you know,
We're gonna leave that between them then.
Yeah, we leaving that between them. Let them build on that.
All right, we got another question from Nicolo Gulla. Have you guys read Strabo saying that King Taharqa pushed the empire into Spain? I haven't read that. I haven't heard nothing about him pushing nothing into Spain. Only thing I could think of about Taharqa when I looked up the information is him because he was all the way down in Nubia, so he would have had to track all the way across Africa just to get to Spain, unless he had to go up through the Assyrian land where they already said he got defeated by the Assyrians, so he couldn't make it past the Assyrians, so ain't no way he would have made it to Spain. Like I said, unless he went through Africa, and the Libyans at the time, they was warring with the Libyans as well, so I don't know how he could have made it to Spain, just from me researching it.
And Strabo, is that a dang, what's the word I'm trying to use for him? Because I think I done heard it. Strabo European though, but I'm trying to use something else. If this was the same guy that I have in mind, see that it'll come to me in a minute. I kind of forgot. But anybody else got any questions? And you know, they can continue to have their little side thing in the what's the name. That's why I'm saying that's why I'm so excited. Man, I'm so excited about next week to do this presentation, man. I'm just so excited to do it so I can, you know, hush up some people's mouths. So because I'm just ready. But anyway, anybody else got any questions before we get up off here? And I have on my screen right now, please go check out this our website, the Seshu Metanetter, which I'm also a group of, the SeshuMetanetter.com website. If you're interested in buying any of the books, or are you interested in taking a class and learning the Seshu Metanetter, Saber Wujal has a textbook for the class, which is a decent price, pretty good price, and you know, a pretty good price on taking a course, which is a 12-week course. Also, Sister Emike has a book published out if you want to check her book out. And we have a book collective that we have out, a rebuttal to Walter Williams, which also is a great book. So please go support us in those publications. This is the website. We also have books, and again, I can't remember exactly how much the price. I think it's $5 or $10 a month. If you want, you can go on the website, it's free. But if you want to register to become a member, where you're able to get some of the resources for the books, you have free PDF downloads, which you can't beat. If it's can't remember, I think it's $5 a month. You can't beat that, to go on there and download free PDF books, you know what I'm saying, for free. Also, we have a lot of the Seshu Metanetra transliteration and translations on there, as well as some of other Saber Wujal's students on there. So go check that out as well. Also, Saber Wujal has an Sabre University, which is a course set up like Corsica. For those that may be familiar with Corsica, our uh, online educational group where you can go on. It has so many different varieties that you can choose from and actually take the classes. Some of the classes, like a few of us in the session took a few classes. In the past, I know I took about 3 different classes from the Corsica, and one of the Corsica group, I actually got a certificate for passing the classes. The other 2 I didn't get because it was free to take the classes, but you had to pay. If you passed the class, you had to pay for the certificate for them to get the certificate. All of them doesn't have free downloads. Um, so this is set up the same way. Also, there'll be different people coming on the platform that's teaching, and if you have you want to teach, you have to get with Sabre Wujawa. If you want to actually implement a class on here, you actually can make money from your classes if you want to. If you allow to take put your information up and teach your information, you actually can charge a fee if you want to charge a fee. I think when I get some time and able to do it, um, I'm not gonna charge. It's gonna be free, and a lot of it is gonna be just the thousands presentations that I have. It's just gonna be information from those that I'm actually gonna put up, and actually you can actually go watch the presentation. You know what I'm saying? Study the presentation to get the answers. But go check out Sabre University. Also, please go subscribe to the Seshuma Ani Metanetra group, which I am also a member, and the 2 other brothers that's on the panel, brother Sean and brother Setepenre, they are also members of the Seshuma Ani Metanetra group. Also, go check out our YouTube page, and also go check out our sister Senate Imiket. She did a presentation on Friday, so please go check out that presentation as well as the plethora of other information that we have on the channel. Also go subscribe to Kofi Piesie TV. If you had subscribed, please subscribe. It is the channel that takes the black man, the black woman, and black child, Eurocentric mind, and Africanize it. I guarantee if there's anything that you want to know about the culture and the traditions, it's on this channel or it's on its way. And it also is the African Netflix. Shout out to Brother Jadar Spirit for coining that for me. Also, I'm a member of the Mossy Warrior Clan, so please go and subscribe to that channel and go and check out the previous video that Brother Sean did revisiting my aunt that he did today. Great presentation. Go check that out, as well as the plethora of videos that we also have already on that channel. So please go and subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. We appreciate your support, support, support. That's all I got. If anybody else got something to say, if you don't, we gonna get on up out of here.
Yeah, I'm starting a GoFundMe, and I want everybody to GoFund me so I can do some primary fake research and lie to y'all for the rest of y'all life. Shoot, if everybody else can get paid lying to y'all, I think I can too. Nah, I'm just playing, man. Great shows to tell, man. I appreciate the last 3 bills you've done, man. Coming out of the shell, man, and then, dropping some jewels on us. The content is much appreciated and needed. In order to liberate the African mind, we must fight continuously every day in order to do so and to give people a part of history that they're unaware of. So I appreciate your work, brother, the time you took out to put these presentations together and the effort that you put into this today. I know it, the man hours it take away from your day. You could have been doing something else, watching football, eating a kale wrap, or some. But nah, man, I appreciate it. Kofi, thanks for hanging tight in there all day, man. You could be doing something else with your time. You know what I'm saying? Especially with some things you working on right now, man. You got 4, 5 presentations. You know what I'm saying? You could have went swimming today, you know. Um, but hey, you here with us, brother, and we appreciate you.
Most there, most there. So, Ted, you got any last word before we sign out?
Yeah, I just want to thank Brother Sean, you know what I'm saying, for tuning in, getting on the panel, let me on his panel, doing a great presentation on my art. And I want to thank Kofi for allowing me to do my presentation on his platform. He ain't got to do that. But then again, yeah, he do got to do that because I'm his brother. So, I'm looking forward to the presentations that Kofi has in store for us in the future, and Sean as well. And thank the chat too. I want to thank the chat, everybody watching it. Thank the members of the Shishu that come through and watch our shows. And I like Emmy Ket's little presentation on the wine. It's just good that I see everybody coming out. You know what I'm saying? Doing their presentations and the support. Everybody supporting everybody. So yeah, I just want to say thank y'all. And I don't know what I'm gonna do next, but I'm gonna come up with something. So we'll see. That's it for me, Kofi.
All right. Hold on. I'm trying to get back to the screen and stop sharing. All right. Well, fam, we out of here, man. Again, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in, man, and appreciate the support. And again, if you hadn't subscribed, please go subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification, and hit the notification bells. Oh, and one thing, if you don't like the information, you don't have to click onto the show. And that goes for my platform, that goes for the Master Warrior Clan platform, and even the Seshu Ma'a Metaneta platform. If you don't have anything good to say, you don't like the information at all, just don't log on. You know what I'm saying? Stop logging on and then leaving comments. And I'm making that because of the last 2 weeks, I've been going back and looking at the comments on my channel and Master Warrior Clan channel, and the last two comments on the Master Warrior Clan channel this week and last week was a negative comment when people went back in the archives and looked at the video. And like I say, if you don't like the information, we thumbs it down. We like it either way, thumbs it up or thumbs it down, either way. And if you don't like it, just don't come back on the platform. If you don't have anything good to say, you know what I'm saying, don't say nothing at all. Or you come on here and you show us how it's supposed to be done if we not doing it right. And I'm saying that, what I'm saying, because I'm kind of tired of it. And some of these people that I high regards, and one of these individuals that's actually a practitioner said something negative, and he knows better, and just because sometimes we say something and we don't speak it correctly doesn't mean that the information is bad because we mispronounce a word wrong. And it was just something that kind of got up under my skin with a practitioner today, that actually left a comment, and I actually made a long comment, but I deleted it because that's not me. I don't go back and forth with people. I'm not gonna get negative with somebody because somebody got negative with me.
So you deleted your comment.
I didn't. Yeah.
Iwabaruru. Huh?
That's what they was exhibiting. You know what I'm saying?
And no, that was you.
No, that was them. And I was actually coming in defense of one of the comments was a show I did. No, three. One of the shows was a comment on I did, and was one on the one that you did last week.
Yeah, I seen that comment.
So, and I was actually I just got tired. I was actually, I was gonna fire back, and actually I did. But I deleted the long comment. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, a lot of times, a lot of these people, man, just let me down. I held a lot of people in high regards, and even some of these people that call themselves priests and practitioners of certain things that I'm not in, they demonstrate this, these bad characters. So, but I deleted. I'm not gonna do what they do. But like I say again, if you don't like it, don't.
The one on yours. I mean, I saw the one on mine today, but I missed the one on y'all. I ain't go back and look, but yeah, if it's the same person.
The same person on two of them, and it's a different person on the other. So that's why I'm just saying that you don't want to look at it.
Pronunciations are pronunciations. Everybody ain't gonna pronounce them correctly. I mean, you can. Well, you really don't even have to say nothing because Ben, especially on mine, Ben, when he stopped it, he was like, "Nah." He went ahead and corrected it right there, even though I knew better. But at the time when you're reading the slide, you just going by, you just reading along. But I mean, critique is good, man. But you're right. You're right in your premise.
Right, you just have to be respectful. You just have to be respectful. That's the only thing I'm saying. Exhibit, be who you say you are. You know what I'm saying? That's my thing. I'm tired of people being fake. Just be who you say you are. You know what I'm saying? And if you have, that's why we don't mind critique. You know what I'm saying? But if you critique, come to us come to us in the right manner. Like today, I'm gonna build with a brother that was actually on the channel on our Mossy Warrior Clan channel today. No, it was actually on the Dagger Squad. Then he left the Dagger Squad, came on the Mossy Warrior Clan of the comment I made before we got off the Dagger Squad and went into the Mossy Warrior Clan channel. And I was respectful to the brother. I told him to inbox me, look me up on Facebook. I accept him as a friend. He inboxed me. I'll send him his number and we can discuss the things that I talked about, you know what I'm saying, in a civil bill. I'll give you my number. We can chop it up on the phone. We can talk. And I'll listen, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm gonna do. I let him know that I'm not the person. I'm not gonna go back and forth with you. We can have a civil conversation, and that's what we gonna have. Just come at me in the right manner. You know what I'm saying? Because he got an issue with something I said. So, and it's no problem. I don't have a problem with that. We can talk about that. So that's what we gonna do. Just come to us in a respectful manner. But that's all, man. But we out of here, man. ETM Hotel. Well, shoot, Shimim Hotel. So go in peace or depart in peace, family. And we'll see y'all next week at the same time. Or we'll see y'all at 2:00 p.m. Central Standard Time on the Master Warrior Clan. And we'll see you at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on the Kofi Piesie channel. Or if you get up earlier, we'll see you at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on the Dagger Squad Saint Sean.
Yeah, man. It's around 9 Central, 10 Eastern. And that joker gonna rock out for a few hours.
A whole job shift. If you a whole 8 hours, you got a whole 8 hours of Dagger Squad. So so again, shout out to brother Garfield and Dagger Squad. And we out of here, man. Until the next time, man. Peace.